Hey, what's up, everybody? It's DJ Modi here coming to you from What You Say Radio. I appreciate y'all always tuning in, locking it in with me right here, What You Say Radio, man. And this evening, man, I got a story out of Michigan again. I don't know what's going on up in Michigan, but it's crazy as far as, man, mothers and parents of kids. Um, just some crazy, tragic things that are happening up there. I don't know what's going on, what's in the water or what, but in this story, a mother, 35-year-old mother, left three of her kids home in an apartment for 3 to 4 years, 3 or 4 years, and she lived elsewhere in another location, and she would visit them every now and then just to drop off food and things, and also the neighbors. They would drop off food at the doorstep. However, man, they have been living in this house for 3 or 4 years, feces everywhere, trash everywhere, up to like 3 to 4 feet high of stacked trash and dump. The place just looks terrible. I mean, the living conditions are inhumane, not normal, abnormal. It's an apartment complex. I don't see how anybody didn't smell the smell from all this trash and the feces because they've been living. These are kids. The oldest kid is 15 years old, and he got like a 12, 11, and I think the youngest is like 9 or 9 or 10. So young kids living in the home by themselves, haven't been to school in the last 3, 4 years. How could that be missed? How could the kids not being in school for the last 3, 4 years be missed? So they lived in this house. They did not come outside of the house. I'm telling y'all, this is unbelievable. But as a person put it up there in Detroit, this is not abnormal. Like this has happened before, which shocks and amazes me. I can't believe that, kids would be left in this situation again for 3, 4 years. How nobody in the neighborhood, neighbors saw or seen anything and didn't report anything. It's just absolutely terrible. It's egregious. But I'm gonna get in the story and then we'll come back and talk about it. Check it out right here.
Well, the pictures are hard to look at. Police in Pontiac say three children were found living alone in deplorable conditions after discovering their mother had abandoned them for years. Our Victor Williams is following the story for us tonight. Victor, we're learning that mother has been arrested. What else can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right. The mother has been arrested, Pam, but we're told that these kids were actually inside of this house for years, at least since 2021. This is the house behind me that has that orange sticker right there on the window. But we're told these kids were only 12, 13, and 15. Now, authorities, they said that the mom would drop off food from time to time, but she's a 34-year-old woman that's now being held at the Oakland County Jail with the case now being turned over to the prosecutor for review. We are expecting charges to come in the next few days or so, but the only reason authorities ever stepped in the first place was because the landlord actually called 911. He contacted deputies after not hearing from the mother since about December, and that's what started this welfare check. Take a look at some of this video from inside of the place. We're told that the house was just so unsanitary that evidence techs they had to wear hazmat suits in order to investigate. Now we're talking about piles of garbage in rooms as high as 4 feet tall, human feces overflowing in the toilet, and then also the bathtubs.
Trash 4 feet high. They had to have they had to have protective gear and masks to go into the home. Landlord, where was the landlord the last 3, 4 years? They've been in there since 2021. 2021. We're in 2025, people. That's 4 years. The oldest is 15. That means they were 11 at the time. The youngest was 12. That means they were 8. They've been in that house since they were 8 years old.
Apparently, they were living on that food that people would bring nearby. Even also, strangers would sometimes bring that food up to the door. Now, also, we are being told that the mother had not spoken to the two girls that were in there for years, but she would go and actually speak to the son from time to time. The kids were not in school. They actually spent their entire time at the home watching TV and then playing video games. The conditions in the house were so bad that the kids had to sleep on the floor. The boy had a mattress, and the girls had to sleep on pizza boxes. So we're actually going to go and hear from Sheriff Michael Bouchard on what these kids are now having to go through, as well as what they now have to bounce back from.
Our first focus is in trying to make sure these kids get what they need to begin the process of moving forward. The second very important part of this is how did the three kids fall through the cracks so terribly? How did the community, relatives, the schools, no one knew to reach out to us? How did that happen? And so that's going to be a big part of what I've already directed our investigations to figure out.
Now, while all of this was going on inside of the house, we're told that they ended up finding the mother at a different location. And so we're going to have more on what residents living nearby they have to say about this. That's coming up at 11. Yeah, back to you.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely sick. I feel bad for those kids, those children. There you heard it. The mother communicated with the son, but didn't hasn't communicated with the two daughters in years. She's off living in a location of her own, pretty sure in better conditions than what her kids are. Strangers, strangers coming up and bringing food to the doorstep. You mean to tell me you couldn't smell anything? Trash 4 or 5 feet high, feces everywhere. You tell me at some point you couldn't smell anything? You couldn't see nothing, you couldn't smell nothing, you didn't hear nothing? They were in there playing video games for the last 4 years as their form of entertainment, sleeping, the son sleeping on a mattress, the girl sleeping on pizza boxes. Absolutely absurd, sickening, frightening. And thank God the kids were found alive. Were found alive, and hopefully they get the help that they need going forward, and the mother is handled appropriately. Let me know what y'all thoughts are on this story. Leave me some feedback in the comments. Like, subscribe to the page. I appreciate y'all always tuning in with me, DJ Mod, right here on What You Say Radio. Again, share your thoughts. I'll catch y'all in the next one. This one is absolutely crazy. Peace. What you say?